Hello YouTube, back with the next Yu-Gi-Oh review, and today I'm starting a series of reviews on individual cards. So since I don't have any more structure decks to review, no more starter decks to go through, I'm gonna just start, going through the cards individually from what I have left over. So I'll start with this card, Exodia Necross here. So if you're familiar with this card, appeared in the anime, Ghost Kaiba used it, but it really does not hold up like it does in the anime. It's 18 attack, 0 defense, level 4, Dark Spellcaster that has a summoning requirement using Contract with Exodia when you have all 5 pieces of Exodia in your graveyard. Then it gains 500 attack for each, during each of your standby phases. It also can't be destroyed by spell and trap cards or through battle. But none of that really means very much because the instant any of the 5 pieces are out of your graveyard, it's destroyed. It self-destructs automatically. That to me is a major downside to this card. Contrary in the anime, where Contract with Exodia, which is the other card this card brings out, has a cost of 2,000 life points. At least then you got more out of it. You could still use it as a regular beat stick. You could still attack with it. It just had bonus effects based on each of the Exodia pieces in the graveyard. But this card got nerfed pretty badly. The effect is really slow. You're probably more than likely never going to get the effect up right away. You're going to take damage from it every time it's on the field. And if you want a monster that can't be destroyed in battle, there's a boatload of other monsters to choose from. Marshmallow, Arcana Force Zero, Spirit Reaper. Come on here. This is not rocket science. This card is absolutely terrible. Talk about situational. You have to dump Exodia in the graveyard. And your opponent's going to probably more than likely know this is coming. It's a wasted card. They could have easily made this. At very least, it should have been during each player's standby phase it gains 500 attack points. Then at least it gets a power boost and has a more likely chance of actually destroying something in battle. With only 1800 and having to sit around for a turn, it's more than likely not going to get that opportunity. And it's very easy to destroy get one of the pieces out of your graveyard. Come on, you have all 5, and then you're relying entirely on a pretty crappy effect monster as a whole. See, I don't think it can be revived later. Nope, it can't be revived later, so you're screwed. Once it's gone, you can't bring it back later to at least attempt to do something with it. So, Konami, or in the case of at the time of this card's release, Upper Deck Entertainment, crippled this card as they typically do, which is unfortunate because that really wrecks the playability of a certain card. And the only reason why I have this card is because it came in the Master Collection. This is the secret rare from the Master Collection Volume 2. It's really unfortunate because this card could have actually been a whole lot better. Or at the very least, it should have had more attack points. If it was going to self-destruct, give it more attack points. Give it at least 1,000 attack points more. Then at least it has the potential to just, not only can it destroy something in battle, it'll survive, it's a little more powerful, but it's still not overpowered because it requires the 5 pieces of Exodia in the graveyard. It'll self-destruct as soon as any of the pieces are gone, and it can't be revived later. But it's a lot more playable. That's all you probably need to do to make it more playable. It can still be targeted as well, so I can use Compulsive Evacuation Device, goes back to your hand, and now you need to wait to draw a contract with Exodia again in order to play it. It's otherwise completely useless. It's not even searchable. You can get it with Witch of the Black Forest, but what's the point? You need Exodia. You need Contract with Exodia as well, and you might as well use Witch of the Black Forest to search out the pieces of Exodia anyway, which makes an automatic victory just by having all 5 pieces in your hand. So really, it's kind of pathetic compared to the anime. Konami almost always waters down cards to the point where they're completely useless, especially when they're considering. And they've done it more recently with the cards released in Battles of Legend, Relentless Revenge, with notably cards like Golden Castle of Stromberg. Yes, I know that card was probably destined for a nerf, which is to say watered down, which is to say the effect got, it's now less overpowered than it was in the anime, but they cripple it too much. They take it too far. The only thing that basically has any redeeming quality has at least a very minor connection to the anime. Oh, it's got maybe 1 or 2 effects from the anime. But they crippled it too much, as they typically do. It's level 4, so it can't even get by things like Gravity Bind Limit Area B. It's pretty sad when you get right down to it. Considering how fearful it was in the anime, Ghost Kaiba would never have touched this card if he had known it was this bad. I mean, at least in the anime, when all 5 pieces were gone, all it did was lose those special effects. It stayed on the field. They crippled this card way too much, and unfortunately, it's just not playable. It probably was not even used back when it came out in Dark Crisis. And even then, it was a hard to get card. That may have been also partially why it was hard to get, or not playable, but it literally is not playable. So yeah, that's my review on Exodia Necross. Thanks for watching.